Well, if I ask you, what percent did you get in your last examination? I won't be surprised if you reply like, Ma'am, I get 85%. Somebody like, Ma'am, I get 98%. So students, one word is striking again and again, that is percent. So hello, this is Anjali Shajil and today we are back with a new chapter and a new concept, that is percentage. So let's start. What is percentage? Percent is a number or ratio expressed as a fraction of 100. You can see the symbol of percent. We will divide the word percent into two words, that is per and cent. Per means every and cent means 100. So in short, if we conclude on every 100. Before moving to any question, we need to understand some concepts relating to percent. That is, conversion of percent. Percent can be converted into fraction, ratio and decimals, and it will proceed vice versa. Fraction can be converted into percent, ratio can be converted into percent, and decimal can be converted into percent. So firstly we are going to discuss how to convert percent into fraction. Okay, now we need to understand one thing, that when we are going to convert percent into whether it is fraction, ratio or into decimal, we need to understand that when we are going to convert percent into anything, we have to divide the given percent by 100. In short, we can understand when we are going to remove the sign of percent, we have to divide the given percent by 100. So let's see the example. Convert 30% into fraction. So here what we have to do, we are going to convert 30% into fraction. So how we gonna do it? What I said, when we are converting percent into anything, we have to divide the given percent by 100. So 30 divided by 100, that becomes 3 by 10. Let's see the vice versa of it. What if we need to convert fraction into percent? Interesting. Okay, earlier we just did conversion of percent into fraction. We discussed that when we are converting percent into anything, we have to divide the given percent by 100. Now the reverse rule will apply. When you are converting anything into percent, you have to multiply the given number, the given fraction, the given decimal or anything. You have to multiply the given fraction by 100. Okay, let's see the example. Convert 7 by 10 into percent. So, according to the rule, 7 by 10 into 100. So, the result will be 70%. Okay, next we are going to discuss how we are gonna convert percent into ratio. We all know the property of ratio. When anything which is written in the form of A is to B, it considered as ratio. Okay, one more thing. You are already knowing that A upon B can also be written as A is to B. Okay, let's see the example. Convert 90% into ratio. What we had discussed, when you are converting any percent into anything, whether it is fraction, ratio or decimal, what are you going to do? You have to divide the given percent by 100. So here we will do the same. 90 divided by 100. So the result will be 9 by 10, or 9 by 10 can be written as 9 is to 10. Let's see the vice versa of this rule too. When we are converting ratio into percent, how we do this? Let's see the example. Convert 5 is to 20 into percent. Convert 5 is to 20 into percent. Now we are already knowing 5 is to 20 can also be written as 5 upon 20. Okay, we discussed that when we are converting anything into percent, we will multiply the given number with 100. Okay, so here the given number is 5:20. So 5 upon 20 multiplies by 100. Okay, so the result will be 25%. Okay, now we convert percent into decimal. How we convert percent into decimal? Let's see the example. Convert 13% into decimal. We all are knowing the property of decimal. How we convert 13% into decimal? We had discussed that when we are converting percent into anything, we have to divide the given percent by 100. So in this case, 13 divided by 100. So the result will be 0.13. Okay, now let's see the last conversion. Convert decimal into fraction. How we convert decimal into fraction? See the example. Convert 0.45 into percent. Now we are perfect in our rule that when we are converting any number into percent, we have to multiply the given number by 100. So 0.45 multiplies by 100. So the result will be 45%. So after all the conversion, we'll understand how to calculate percent. It's very simple. Part upon whole into 100. Let me repeat it once again. Part upon whole into 100 is the way to calculate percent. Okay, now let's see the practical problem. Suppose one boy is there whose name is Ram. Ram gets 64 marks in mathematics out of 80. Find marks in percentage. Okay, Ram gets what marks? 64 out of 80. Now we have to find his percent mark. It's very simple. We had discussed when we are finding percent, we have to do part by whole into 100. So the marks which got by Ram is 64 out of 80. That means 64 upon 80. And when we are finding anything into percent, we have to multiply the given number by 100. So 64 upon 80 into 100. So the percent marks of Ram in mathematics is 80%. See the fourth problem. Balanced diet contains 12% of protein, 25% of fats, and 63% of carbohydrates. If a child intakes 2600 calories daily, find the amount of each. Now just understand the question. Total calories taken by a child is 2600. Okay. So basically 2600 is equals to 100%. Now out of 100%, what percent of protein, fats and carbohydrates is there? So let's see. Total calories, that is equals to 2600. Now we have to find the amount of each item. So let's calculate first amount of protein. Now in the question it is given that 12% of protein is there. So let's calculate amount of protein. Amount of protein is equals to 12% of total. That means 12% of 2600. Now we know how to solve this. 12% of 2600, that means 12 by 100 of 2600. That is 12 upon 100 into 2600, which will be 312 calories. So the amount of protein is 312 calories. Now let's calculate the amount of fats. In the question it was given that percent of fat is 25%. So amount of fat will be calculated as 25% of total calories, that is 2600. So 25% of 2600, that means 25 by 100 into 2600. That means 6500 calories. Now last but not the least, we have to find the amount of carbohydrates. So the percent of carbohydrate is 63%. Now amount of carbohydrate equals to 63% of 2600. That means 63 by 100 into 2600. That is 1638 calories. That means 1638 calories. Now we had calculated the amount of each items individually. We had calculated the amount of protein, amount of fats and amount of carbohydrates. We now see the fifth word problem. Gunpowder contains 75% niter and 10% sulfur. Find the amount of gunpowder which carries 9 kg niter. What amount of gunpowder which contain 2.3 kg of sulfur? Now students, we need to break this question into two parts. First, find the amount of gunpowder which carries 9 kg niter, and the second part, what amount of gunpowder which contain 2.3 kg of sulfur. Okay, let's understand the question. 75% niter and 10% sulfur is there, but the amount of gunpowder is not there. So we are assuming that gunpowder is 100%. So basically out of 100%, 75% niter and 10% sulfur is there. Okay, now focus on first part. What the question is actually asking, find the amount of that gunpowder which is carrying 9 kg niter. We have to find that amount of gunpowder which is containing 9 kg niter. So basically 9 kg niter is equals to 75%. Yes. Okay, now let's move on the solution. The gunpowder, the quantity of gunpowder is unknown, so I am assuming the gunpowder as X. So let the gunpowder be X. Now if the gunpowder is X, the gunpowder contains 75% niter. So basically 75% of gunpowder is equals to 9 kg. Now gunpowder is X, so 75% of X is equals to 9 kg. So we know how to solve. 75 by 100 into X equals to 9. By the method of transposition, we will find the value of X. So basically X is nothing. X is the amount of that gunpowder which is carrying 9 kg niter. Okay, now move on. Second part, what amount of gunpowder which contain 2.3 kg of sulfur? Okay, let's understand the question. 75% niter and 10% sulfur is there, but the amount of gunpowder is not there. So we are assuming that gunpowder is 100%. So basically out of 100%, 75% niter and 10% sulfur is there. Okay, now focus on first part. What the question is actually asking, find the amount of that gunpowder which is carrying 9 kg niter. We have to find that amount of gunpowder which is containing 9 kg niter. So basically 9 kg niter is equals to 75%. Yes. Okay, now let's move on the solution. The gunpowder, the quantity of gunpowder is unknown, so I am assuming the gunpowder as X. So let the gunpowder be X. Now if the gunpowder is X, the gunpowder contains 75% niter. So basically 75% of gunpowder is equals to 9 kg. Now gunpowder is X, so 75% of X is equals to 9 kg. So we know how to solve. 75 by 100 into X equals to 9. By the method of transposition, we will find the value of X. So basically X is nothing. X is the amount of that gunpowder which is carrying 9 kg niter. Okay, now move on. Second part, what amount of gunpowder which contain 2.3 kg sulfur? Now if you see, this is as same as the first part. Now we have to find that 100% amount of gunpowder which is carrying the 2.3 kg of sulfur. So basically the quantity of sulfur in percent is 10%. So basically 10% sulfur is equals to 2.3 kg of sulfur. Okay, now move. Gunpowder contains 10% sulfur. That means 10% of gunpowder is equals to 2.3 kg. Yes, 10% of gunpowder, that is X. So 10% of X equals to 2.3. Now 10 by 100 into X equals to 2.3. Again by transposition we will find the value of X. Now X is 23 kg. So basically when 2.3 kg sulfur is there, so the total amount of gunpowder, it was 23 kg. Okay, students, now last concept is there, which is increase percent and decrease percent. When you want to find increase percent, then it is very simple. Increased value upon original value into 100. And for decrease percent, decreased value upon original value into 100. Now for an example, I'm having a garden, and in that garden earlier there were 15 rose flowers were there. Now after 7 days, 5 new more rose flowers grow. Okay, so basically the increased value in the garden is 5 and the original number of rose flowers were 15. So are you getting how we calculate increase percent? In the same way, decrease percent will be found. Okay students, now let's do a question on this concept. The question is, the population of a town increased by 10% annually. If the present population is 60,000, what will be its population after 2 years? Now let's understand the question. Current population of a town is 60,000. So right now the original population, the original value, the current population is 60,000. And the increment is 10% annually. That means every year 10% population is increasing. So we have to find the population which will be increased after 2 years. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now, are you having the increased value in the question? Of course no. So, when we are not having the increased value, the increased population, I am just assuming the increased value as x. So let's start the question. Let the increased value be x. So we are knowing that how to put the formula. Increase percent equals to increased value upon original value into 100. So we are already having the increased percent, that is 10%. And on the place of increased value, I have assumed as x. So I'll put x upon original value, that is 60,000. So x by 60,000 into 100. So by transposition, we will find x, and x is 6,000. So 6,000 is nothing but the population which will be increased after first year is 6,000. So after first year, the total population will be 60,000 plus that increased population, that is 6,000. So total will be 66,000. Now we have to find the population after 2 years. The population which will be increased after 2 years. We had find the population increased after 1 year. Now we'll find after second year what will be the population in the town. So the increase percent is 10% annually. So we'll find in the same way, that is 10% equals to, on the place of increase value, that is x upon original. Now the current population of that town is 66,000. So basically 10% is equals to x upon 66,000 into 100. So again by transposition, x will be 6600. So after second year, the population which will be increased is 6600. So totally the population which will increase after 2 years is 66,000 plus 6600, that is 72,600. So basically in that town, the population after 2 years will be 72,600. Now student, last but not the least, question number 7. Question number 7 is, Aman's income is 20% less than that of Anil. How much percent Anil's income is more than Aman's income? You're feeling that question is confusing you, isn't so? No. The question is quite interesting. Just read the question. Aman's income is 20% less than Anil's income. Now Anil's income is unknown. So let Anil's income be 100. If Anil's income is 100, then Aman's income will be 100 minus 20, that is 80. Now question is asking how much percent Anil's income is more than Aman's income. So for solving this, we have to find first the difference between Anil's and Aman's income. So the difference between Anil and Aman's income will be the income of Anil is 100 and the income of Aman is 80. So the difference will be 100 minus 80, which is 20. Now if Aman's income is 80, then Anil's income is 20 more. If Aman's income is 1, then Anil's income will be 20 by 80. Now let's find. Anil's income more than Aman's income in percent is 20 by 80 into 100. That is 25%. So basically, Anil's income is 25% more than Aman's income. So students, I hope you enjoyed the video and understood all the concepts of percentage. Percentage is quite interesting chapter. All you need to do is practice, practice and practice.